It's no secret that I'm not a fan of authors like Meg Latour and SJM for their books. The titles are, in my opinion, the best part of their books. That's kind of where it is. I'm sure they're lovely people. I don't personally know them, but I can't stand their storytelling. I'm not the first person to criticize. That's not the point. The point I'm making isn't that the books are bad, but they have missed potential. This was something that came up repeatedly when I hosted a live stream read for charity, where the chat and I came up with 3 alternate plots from the first chapter and 3 more as we progressed through this one book. There was potential, but what we got was disappointment. Alternatively, when someone else was hosting a live read of a famously bad book, there was commonality in the chat of if this one thing was changed, it'd make more sense or be more intriguing. Which got me thinking, do bad books have good things to offer? I wholeheartedly believe the answer is yes. They make for good prompts. We've all heard at some point, there's no such thing as an original story anymore. While I'm not fully convinced, for the sake of this discussion, we'll run with that. A lot of fan fiction makes alterations to the source material. Manacled rose to popularity under the question, what if Voldemort won instead of Harry Potter? Comics are notorious for creating alternate universes for well-established characters. Both answer the what if instead prompt. What if Voldemort won instead? What if Superman was the villain instead? What if Tony Stark used biological warfare to become a global tyrant instead? The Marvel Access comics getting ignored by the MCU is pure sadness to me and absolute missed potential. What if Tamlin declared a life for a life and stole Elaine? What if Feyre teamed up with that mercenary everyone forgot about, except for me because my brain is huge, to go to the Feywild for a rescue? What if she found her sister perfectly happy and had to come to terms with the fairies not being evil? And what if an army was rallied in her absence, ready to war against the fairies? I didn't give that particular scenario purely to promote my upcoming work, Voice of Wind, but you get the idea. Changing who Tamlin takes changed the entire story. In that charity read, we also posed the question of what if the wolf from the first chapter was evil? What if Tamlin rushed to intercept its attack? What if they were evenly matched? And what if Feyre's arrow downs it? From there, we came up with a few directions the plot could have gone. There was also a point later in the plot where Tamlin is asking about Feyre's mother that I genuinely thought the twist was going to be Tamlin was Feyre's real dad, and it explained why the rest of her family treated her so badly. That this mysterious fairy elsewhere was possibly a jealous snow queen that put a curse to kill her and her mother out of spite. But Feyre's fairy blood saved her life, taking away the warmth from her personality, which explains why she's always so cold. As strictly an audience member with the Cyborg Tinkerer read, we came up with twists, turns, and alternate perspectives. From an entirely different love triangle plot to Gwen absolutely not volunteering as tribute. It was a fun thought experiment and showed the missed potential of the book. In fairness, the what if instead for Tinkerer made the story much darker, like moonless, storming midnight dark. Now, if you're someone who enjoyed the books as they are, many do, there's nothing wrong with that. Myself and many others did not enjoy it that much. The topic is more to temper those who dwell on it and make rants lasting an hour or more, something I've been guilty of in the past. But I figure we can rant and change nothing, or rebel by reframing to tell the story anew, using what if instead as a prompt. We unlock creative potential. While this can be applied to universally beloved books, my hope is that we can better find things we like in quote unquote bad books, even if it's simply missed potential.